And welcome back to Talk of the Town. Up next, we're talking anaplastology, fascinating work done by Gregory Gion here of Medical Art Prosthetics. Welcome to the program, Greg.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, thanks for coming back. This is amazing, life-changing work that Greg does, and today we're talking about orbital prosthetic restoration. So, Greg, what is an orbital prosthesis?
An orbital prosthesis is a prosthetic device, obviously, that's used by people that need to restore their orbit. In other words, they've had a surgery or something. So an orbital prosthesis is a silicone device, and I have one here, if you can see that. Basically, it's a silicone piece that just restores the cavity of the orbit that's been removed.
So this is different than just an artificial eye.
Right. So most people think of an artificial eye, or what we call an ocular prosthesis, as the piece, the plastic piece that actually restores the eyeball itself. So in other words, there's a lot of people that wear an artificial eye, but they have their eyelids. What an orbital prosthesis is the whole restoration, including the eye.
Okay, I see. So you're really filling that whole orbital cavity then.
Right.
What are some reasons that people need this device?
Well, I can show you some photographs that kind of illustrate some of the designs, but the main reasons that people end up needing a prosthesis is they've had a cancer, some sort of intraorbital tumor, mucormycosis, retinoblastoma, or trauma. They've been in an accident, or it could be a gunshot, any number of things.
Okay.
Cause the...
Well, a picture's worth 1,000 words here.
Right, right.
So did you want to flip through those now?
Yeah,
or?
and I just wanted to illustrate how different types of prostheses attach.
Sure, how do they stay in place?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
So because this is something that a person has to manage every day.
Okay.
It's actually something that's put on and taken off each day. So one of the newer methods is the implant retained prosthesis, where somebody would actually have implants placed in the bone of their orbit, and then this would be the prosthesis, and then this would be the person wearing their prosthesis. And I'm getting a little glare there, so is that better? Okay, good.
So those metal things that we saw in the first one, were those magnetic? Or?
That's right, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
I should have
All right.
mentioned that, yeah. Another method is to actually make a hollow prosthesis, so it's almost like a balloon that goes into the cavity, and then the person pops the prosthesis in place, okay? Another kind of an old-fashioned method, but very practical method, is for people that can't manage adhesive. We actually attach their prosthesis to their glasses, and then they can just put their glasses on and their prosthesis is already perfectly placed.
Oh,
It makes a big difference for people that have a difficult time managing a prosthesis.
Sure.
Another method that I've devised, and I've used it many years, is if there's enough of a cavity, I can create an insert that allows the prosthesis to be popped in with a magnet, and then the outer portion of the prosthesis is actually attached to that. So it's another method to get away from adhesive, and it works out really well. This is a rather large need for a restoration. This person actually has a prosthesis that's multiple pieces, and I designed it to attach to their intraoral device, which is called an obturator. So in other words, the prosthesis actually attaches through the cavity down and attaches to their denture.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a very large restoration, but again, the woman can pop her prosthesis on in seconds, put her glasses on, and carry on a normal life.
Yeah.
So it makes a huge difference. It's just a close-up of the restoration. And then last but not least is simply if we use adhesive, and then ultimately the result is still something that blends in really nicely and it looks really natural.
Well, thank you for bringing those pictures. They really help illustrate the fascinating work that you do, and you can see how your artistic ability really plays a role. We're almost out of time.
Yeah.
Real briefly, does insurance pay for these?
They do. There are certain codes for orbital prosthetics, and they do pay for them.
And what would you advise families that are looking for maybe this sort of thing?
Well, I always advise that families look for evidence of the provider actually doing facial prosthetics as a specialty. In other words, people should be able to see photographs like this of before and after, and then they have a better idea of what to expect.
Absolutely. We are out of time, Greg. Thank you so much for coming in and for bringing this and showing us what you can do. It's truly amazing. Fascinating.
Thank you.
This is Gregory Gion. He's with Medical Art Prosthetics. Still more Talk of the Town coming up right after this.